Revelers, this is Off the Rails, Right versus Left, the podcast that we do because we think the left is evil. I'm Rob B.
And I'm Brad Lee.
And I'm Brian G.
And we are Off the Rails, Right versus Left.
All right, there we go. It cut off the intro a little bit, but welcome, Revelers. As you can see, I actually found Brad Lee. And he's dying over there. Perfect timing to get a coughing fit, brother.
Yeah, we got kind of a thunderstorm going on over here.
Ah, gotcha. So, yeah, obviously the big news today, Joe Biden steps down. So, when he stepped down, he immediately endorsed Kamala Harris to take his place as the nominee. So, the first thing that we have to cover before we discuss anything else, we do have an exclusive interview right here on the Off the Rails podcast with Kamala Harris. Okay? So, Kamala, glad you could join us. I just have to ask, how exactly did you get your start in politics?
And spit on that thing. Yeah.
Wow, that's fascinating. So how did you end up Joe Biden's vice president?
And spit on that thing. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds consistent. Now, obviously, you think you can get your party's nomination. We all saw your post this morning. How do you think you're going to get the nomination and even better win the general election?
And spit on that thing. Yeah.
Okay, so all jokes aside, folks, we really do have Kamala Harris in the office or in the studio here with me live today. Kamala, how are you going to win the general election?
All right.
So
good to see Kamala's still up to her old tricks.
Yeah, so the strategy is clear. She's going to try and hoover her way all the way into the seat of power. So, anyway,
That might work. That might work if she gets together with Hillary Clinton.
Oh, well, I don't know. I don't think Hillary Clinton wants her anywhere near Bill. So, she's already shown what she does with married men of low morals. So, anyway, all right. So but in all seriousness, we did have a little step down there from Joe Biden, which we all knew was going to happen. So no real shocker. But it does leave the question: who's going to end up being the nominee? So, do you think they're going to go with Kamala Harris, Brad?
I don't know. Depends on what happens at the convention, right? Like, is it going to be an open convention? Kamala's popularity is even worse than that of Joe Biden's. I mean, the only thing that she's got going for her is that she's black and she's a woman.
That's true. So,
I mean,
I know
the open convention. Dude, look, everything is the way it is right now. Everything's up in the air. I mean, who knows what can happen at the convention? Like, if you think about the last time something like this happened, there was like civil unrest at the convention. There was like protests and shit. Like, I mean, and this is the DNC that we're talking about here. These aren't the party of fucking peaceful protesters,
Yeah, so it was 1952 was the last time that they had an open convention. Now it's possible that Kamala could lock it down on the first round of balloting. So That is possible. And that's like,
but there's going to have to be a bunch of debates, and that's going to be interesting. I'd love to see that.
Yeah. So they did change the rules in 2016 after they hosed old Bernie boy So in the first round of voting, the super delegates don't vote for anybody. But the
Right.
reality is all the delegates are like super delegates now.
You're
So yeah, so the other issue that they have to deal with is the money.
Well,
So
the money automatically goes to Kamala Harris. She gets all of that war chest.
right, but if she's not the candidate for president, so now
that money that she has can't go to anybody else.
right. Well, but it can go to the DNC, or it can be donated to a super PAC, or the general election funds can be refunded.
Right.
Okay, but the primary money has to stay with Harris. That's her money, so she
Right.
can use that money to try and lobby before the convention to get the nomination.
Mm-hmm.
So really,
I never knew about any of this shit until just recently, man. I'm like, dude, this whole Trump era has gotten me more into politics than anything.
Well,
Mainly
so
because the left is going so far left.
right, they're a little nuts.
So little. They belong in a tree because they're a lot nuts.
Okay then. All right, so we got a couple people online here. So let me get the volume killed on this. I want to make sure that I have this pulled up so I can see the chat.
Yeah.
On
Hey,
Rumble.
this rain isn't too loud, is it?
I can't even hear it.
Okay, good.
So
Anybody else in the chat? Can you guys hear it?
No responses from anybody yet.
Yeah, and mine's kind of like a delay from when I say it to when it comes up on the screen.
I got you. So okay. Anyway, so back to the nominating process. Well, more than that. Okay, like I even mentioned in the last show, because like I got into it. I don't know if it was something Sticks Productions. I don't know if you remember, that was somebody that used to jump on all the time when we were streaming and would comment here and there. Well, he jumped on. He's like, "Oh, I remember you. You're that boomer that was like a diehard Trumper." I'm like, okay, first of all, not even close to a boomer. Second, that wasn't me. That was Brad. Like, I actually hadn't voted for Trump, but I am this year. Like, you know why I'm gonna vote for Trump this year? Right here.
Man, couldn't be stopped by a bullet. I mean,
like that right there. That is like the most badass image of a political figure in what? 70 years, 80 years.
Yeah. Well, what, since
Patton,
Reagan?
Eisenhower on the battlefield.
Reagan after he got shot?
Well, Reagan didn't have a moment like that. Although there was that, man, I wish I had thought about it, I would have uploaded that clip. There was that spot when he was like giving a speech and a balloon popped. Like after the assassination attempt, he was giving a speech, the balloon popped, and like he stops and goes, "Missed me."
Again.
Yeah. So yeah, so I mean, I think that's iconic, and like, I mean, after like this dipwad, you know, it's like a true show of strength. You know what I mean?
What's going on? What are we doing? You know, the thing.
love your impression. Love your impression. Spot on. And then of course, you know, wait,
I can't do her tackle.
Yeah.
My daughter always did.
Can you do a Kamala cackle? So, Bettina's sitting in here in the studio with me, so I was asking if she can do the Kamala cackle.
Oh, so you got someone that can control a soundboard for us.
Well, maybe after I get it set up with the dual monitors, but I'm still waiting for that. Oh, but I do have my podcasting partner over here. Come here, buddy. So I guess we got to scoot back here so everybody can see you. Come here. Well, get up here. You little butthead. So yeah, here's Diego. That's my partner in crime with the podcasting and all the video game streaming. So he's got a little dog bed over here, and he just like lays there right next to me while I'm streaming and while I'm broadcasting. So yeah, it's he's my buddy. He's kind of a rescue. We were boarding him, but his mama got sick and she wasn't going to be able to take him back. So, me and Bettina talked about it and we're like, okay, he's been boarded with us for a long time. He might as well just be ours. So we went ahead and took him in. And he's just such a good dog. Like, you wouldn't have known this whole time that there was a dog in there. Like,
No.
he didn't even make a sound when the vacuum was running. So he's a good boy. Ain't you? So, of course, he'll probably vote Democrat because, people that aren't supposed to vote, they vote Democrat.
Those are only the dead ones.
Oh, the dead ones and the illegals. And,
Yeah.
You figure if they can get dead people to vote for their candidates and they can get illegals to vote for the candidates, why can't they get pets to vote for the candidates?
Bro, look, man, you got to give illegals some credit, man. If it wasn't for them, Trump wouldn't be here. He wouldn't have had to turn his head to look at that chart that he was looking at just in time for that bullet to whiz by. Look, immigrants saved his life. Even he says it. I mean, but there is no doubt that that man was touched by the hand of God for sure. Dead air.
All right. So, well, I just pulled up here. We got we do have 8 people watching on Rumble live right now. So I just wanted to make sure that they know they're welcome to go ahead and join us and like comment as they like.
Yeah, certainly comment.
Um,
What do you guys
like-
think is going to happen now? Do you think that Kamala's going to get the nomination? Do you think she'll have her heels up Harris? Or do you think that it's going to go to someone else like Gavin Newsom or Josh Shapiro? Is that it, Josh Shapiro? They're talking about Gretchen Whitmer.
So I don't know what's going on with our YouTube stream, but it's not going. They probably banned
Oh,
us.
yeah. They gave us the finger when they saw that we were going live on Rumble.
Yeah, probably.
We're not the Daily Wire or anybody else of any significance, so we're just a couple of white dudes talking about politics occasionally, and that we hate the left. And I mean, I hate the left. Any party that wants to kill the leading opposition for president is, I think of them like Hamas.
All right, so let's see if this fixes it. I don't know what's going on here. It says sending data. Of course, it figures. How many times have we had issues with the YouTube streams when we've been doing this?
Yeah, and I don't even really
I know.
care. I don't even really care because screw YouTube. Rumble's getting just as big.
Right? What is going on with this stream? I don't know what's going on here.
Screw it.
Anyway.
Let's keep talking. Who cares about YouTube?
Yeah, forget them. I can always show the video to YouTube later. So, but it is really nice though that we're like doing great on Rumble. Like we're actually starting to make money over there, so that's like fantastic. I mean, we're not talking big money, but a little bit of money is starting to trickle in. So that's awesome. So
as soon as I can figure out how to get them shorts over to you, I will fucking do it.
All right. So hey, so who do you think? Like, what are you looking at? Do you think they're gonna go with Kamala, or do you think they're gonna risk the political fallout that would happen if they dump Kamala and go with
Newsom or I think
Yeah.
what they're going to try and do is find a. I think they're going to find a way to get Hillary in there. So I think they may stick with Kamala and have Kamala run Hillary as her VP. Or they may talk Kamala into getting out and running Hillary again. I don't know, but I don't know. I'm kind of the mind of Dan Bongino, that is his idea, his thought. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? I mean, anything could happen.
Well, about the only thing that could possibly save the Democrat ticket is Michael Obama.
Who?
Michael Obama.
Oh,
Barack's
yeah,
husband.
I don't think that'll happen. But you think that'll happen?
No, Michelle's been pretty clear that she's not really into the whole politics thing. And
Yeah, but so did Donald Trump. He said that a long time ago. But I guess he did say, he wouldn't keep it out of his. He hadn't kept it, as a definite no, but he didn't want to.
yeah, but he did say if the country got bad enough, he would run. He'd been saying that
Yeah,
since like the 80s. And
yeah,
boy, Democrats sure did put full throttle towards making it that bad.
yeah. Oh, well, that's probably why the Simpsons was able to make the prediction.
Okay. So I don't know. So you look at the only one that actually looks like somewhat of a feasible option is Gretchen Whitmer.
You think?
Yeah, but I think Trump would be able to hammer her because I think she was involved in that fake abduction attempt.
She was. I'm sure she was. At first, they tried to blame Steven Crowder on it. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
At first, they said that because he had a rally there because he wanted the FOIA information about what she was doing with the old people in the old folks' home. And they were like, at first the media was saying that only a few hundred people showed up, and there was thousands of people there. And then they said that he was a right-wing extremist with thousands of people at his rally in fucking Michigan. And then they were so it all backfired on him that way. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if she was in on it. Fuck that bitch.
Tell us how you really feel, Brad.
Well, you saw that video of that gang member that beat the crap out of that guy in that fucking home because he had COVID.
I think I just saw the ghost of your kid walking behind you.
You did. You did.
Well,
But I was turning this way to make it look like I was talking to you, like we were in the same room. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I got you. Yeah,
Yeah. You see, yeah, you know.
That's kind of funny. So yeah, it did kind of yeah. So like, and if I turn like this, it does look like I'm talking to you, even though I can't.
Yeah, if I turn like this.
So that's pretty good. No, you know what we should, to make that like look legit, we could do the same virtual background on both.
Yeah.
So it would have to be something that continues really well. But or I can send you half and then I'll put up half and hopefully
yeah.
Right. That would be pretty sick. So okay, so Newsom, I don't think he can get past his record there in California. Like, he just signed a bill into law that takes away parental rights.
Yeah,
that's going to be a hard no in almost every state. Like, the only two states that are going to go along with that are like California and New York. Exactly.
Maybe Hawaii.
Yeah, mate. No, I still
no. You don't think Hawaii is that extreme?
I've been there, and they're just not that extreme. I think they've just manipulated the political apparatus there because the majority of people just don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Aloha. They don't want nothing to do with it. So you notice that like all of these like whacked out liberal politicians from Hawaii, none of them are Hawaiian.
Oh, of course not. Why would they be? Like, how did they honestly get to say that they were representing Hawaiians?
Yeah, well,
and
I mean,
they're
not representative of anything, clearly.
Yeah, they live in DC all the time. That's the problem with all politicians. Like, you were supposed to go home at the end of Congress, the session, after you make laws, and go back and return to your job, not live in DC and get paid by us for doing absolutely literally nothing. I mean, now you have to do something because they got rid of chevron deference.
Right.
So I mean, and I was thank God that happened.
So did you see the show that I did yesterday?
No, because if you're doing video games, I mean, I'm not really into
No. The podcast I did yesterday.
I didn't catch it. No.
Yeah. So yesterday I was talking about all the things that they can do to like rein in the federal government, getting rid of the FBI, the CIA, the NSA. For the record, I am sitting here talking about getting rid of the 3-letter agents. I'm very happy in my life. I have a wonderful woman. I have a great dog. I got the badass man cave studio. I am not suicidal, but the FBI needs to go. The CIA needs to go. The NSA needs to go. All of our foreign intelligence can be handled by the military intelligence because they're the ones that need the information. The president is part of that apparatus as the commander in chief, so he would obviously get the information that he needs. We don't need any of those organizations.
Right.
And then it would like really break down the number of agencies that can sit there and attack. But then you go and look in contrast. And I think most Americans, I don't know if they're
Yeah, like why do we need a federal bureau of investigations when like each state has their own state bureau of investigation? Like,
well,
how
yeah,
does
exactly. And then our quote unquote Homeland Security Secretary, he can have a staff of 50 and each one follows up with what's going on in each of the states. The end. That's it. Okay.
Mhm.
If any, and they're responsible for coordinating between the states if potential criminal activity like transfers between the states. So I just have to throw this one up here again. That's my boy. Brad, what was your thought in that moment?
Dude, I was on the trail, man. I
Oh, so
didn't
you didn't even, that's right, because I texted you and you were like out when I did that, weren't you?
Yep, I was going. My
That's crazy.
actually it was that day was actually an awesome day out on the trail. We had I had almost died the night before going up this mountain. We got to the top of this mountain and we were on a 26-mile trail. It was a 26-mile loop up in Arkansas. And it was
Okay,
the
hold
Eagle.
on. We got to mention this before we get too far into this trail thing. Bro, check out the shirt.
I can't read backwards.
Oh, sorry. It says, I gave them bitches independence. Bitches love independence. Thomas
Yes,
Jefferson,
they do.
1776. Gotta love that. So, and your shirt says,
What does it say? Not today, liberal. Courtesy of the Hodge twins.
love it. So, I like them. Let's see. Mirror camera. All right. That better?
There you go.
That's funny. I had to turn off the mirror. So
Yep.
apparently my
So
camera
did
was
I. I was like, what the hell?
So anyway, so you were talking about hiking. But this was in Arkansas, right?
Yeah, I was in Arkansas, Eagle Rock Loop, and there's like 4 or 5 mountains that you got to traverse over. And we got to the first one. And I had like this is tale of an idiot hiker. Okay, so I had like a 38-pound pack on. I had plenty of food and shit, but that morning I had been up since like 3:30 in the morning, and I had a bunch of coffee and 4 monsters, and we get out onto the trail and we start hiking. We hiked 8 miles, 8.5 miles in one day, and right as we're getting to the top, just before we're getting to the top, I'm like, guys, I gotta stop. I'm like, it's like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. I'm like, guys, we gotta stop soon. We gotta set up camp because I am not doing. I just start fucking puking all over the place. Right? I'm like, oh my god, just
Stroking out.
dripping with sweat. You know, I mean, I had been drinking. I had plenty of water, and I was drinking plenty of water.
Yeah, but that's like classic signs of heat stroke.
Oh, hold on a second. My phone's being stupid.
So okay, well, I mean, I'm glad.
Hold on a second.
Okay. So well, looks like Brad got interrupted here, but I do want to pull this up. So this is actually the trail. They didn't do this trail this weekend, but this is a trail here in Texas. It's the LoneStar hiking trail that him and his buddies do quite often. So As far as where we are, well, let's see, so Huntsville's over here. So like I live kind of like up in this area over here. So it'll be kind of great when at some point I'm going to join them in Huntsville, and like I can at least do this section here. I figured like with my work with dogs, I've been walking like 20, 30 miles a day. So I imagine I can keep up with you guys on a hiking trail for a minute. So you ain't going to catch my ass climbing any mountains, man. I got too many joints that randomly give out: ankle, knee, back, neck.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure this back out. Damn it.
What happened?
My rumble went off when my wife started the car because it connected via Bluetooth.
Oh, gotcha. That's hilarious. So, anyway, so let's see here. So this is a couple of the images along the Lone Star hiking trail. So what was your experience there? Because you say you want people to know that trail's there and it's badass and they should go check it out if they're in Texas.
My experience was awesome. It actually, our first night there was wicked. We get there and we wanted to go. It's a 90 some mile through hike.
Okay, did you guys make the whole 90?
No, because it's gonna take more than it was gonna take us more than the 3 days that we had.
Oh, I
But
got you.
we did that one. We hiked out our first night. We got there at night and we hiked 5 miles. We hiked out at night with our headlamps and stuff. But when we pulled up there and we got there, there was 2 hiking sticks there for us, and we had brought hiking poles, trekking poles. I got a survival trekking pole, and my buddy has 2, carbon fiber trekking poles. But we didn't end up using them because we took that as a sign that those walking sticks were right there next to the trailhead, and we were like, oh well, shit, we'll just use these, and we used them all the way through the trail. But so the first night we were walking through, and it was nice. The sky was clear, and I'm looking down and it looked like it had just rained or something. But I'm like, dude, it hasn't rained. It didn't rain here at all. And I keep hiking, and all of a sudden I hear something in the bushes next to me. I'm like, what the hell? The bat just comes out and it's like flying along the bushes. And I'm like, freaked out, like, what the hell? And the bat flies off. I'm like, oh shit, it was a bat. Holy crap. And as we're walking, my buddy's like, hey man, look at all those wolf spiders. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, you don't know how to spot wolf spiders in the forest? I was like, no, dude. He's like, you see all those when you shine your light and you see something and it looks like it's like water droplets shining off the ground? I'm like, yeah. He's like, dude, those are fucking those spiders' eyes. I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, there's tons of them, hundreds, thousands of fucking spiders, and they're huge, some of them. And the trail is great. You go through several biomes. So, like, yeah, it's grassland. Some of it's swampy area. We started out at the trailhead right there by Farm to Market 149, and we actually ended up coming back. We were trying to go all the way to the lake.
So like
on
over
our
here
first.
at spot 1, is this what you're talking about where my cursor's at?
I can't see your cursor.
Oh, okay. So like all the way to the left
But
by
yeah, you see on the bottom left.
1791 and 149?
Yep, that's where we started.
Okay, gotcha.
And then
So
we ended up leaving back at what is that, 2 right there?
yeah.
We ended up coming back, but we ended up taking the road all the way back up to the main road to get back to the parking because it was raining and swamp and there's a lot of water crossings that we had no problem before, but our second night it rained big time and my buddy had gotten sick on that trail.
Gotcha.
He is-
Well, hey,
he is-
if while we're looking at this map, what we can do is one of these times, when you guys are going out, if you guys can put together enough time for it, we can like do the whole trail or go from like Huntsville out to where you see where Levin is. That's Cold Spring. That's not too far from where my cabin is because that's Cold Spring there. Probably about where the G is on hiking is where Livingston is, and that's where my cabin is. So my little tiny house cabin in the middle of the woods. So
Cold Spring,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot there that's like pretty dope. Whoa, how did I lose you?
I don't know.
Let's see
Am I?
here.
I'm still on there, aren't I?
Oh, there you are. You are now. So that was weird. Okay. Well, lost you
Weird.
for a minute while I had that overlay up. So anyway, so yeah, I mean, like, that's nice. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm not getting out and doing enough outdoors now that I'm like staying here. I'm taking care of her kid because he's got autism. So
Mhm.
yeah, so it makes it a little harder to get out. But I was knocking out like 20-30 miles a day, working with the dogs, making sure they got their exercise. Kind of glad that I'm not doing it right now when it's like 95 to 98 degrees every day.
How old
So
is he?
oh no, I'm not talking like Diego's probably like 5 or 6.
Talking
But
about the kid with. I'm talking about the kid with
oh,
autism.
the kid, he's 33.
Oh, does he like to go out and hike? Has he ever done any of it? It might help
I
him.
don't. We're gonna be going to the gym and working on getting in better shape, but I don't think he could like make a long hike. Like,
Well, dude, you don't start out with someone that hasn't gone hiking on
yeah,
huge hikes. You go like maybe a mile or so and get out and see, you know.
yeah,
Certainly, you don't want to go up any mountains or anything, obviously.
and that's totally 100% the plan. We're gonna do that. So, um, I think it'll be fun, but we're gonna start like get him started on the treadmill, so like he gets used to doing like some steady walking work, and then we're gonna move on to outdoors. Like I've already been taking him out for walks every day. We get in a good mile or so most days. So yeah, I mean, I think it'll be all right. We'll work it out. I was trying to loosen Diego's collar while I was here, and he's like trying to run away from me. He's like, "Don't take my jewelry."
Mhm.
I got my pimp blue chain. So anyway, so yeah, next time you go out though on the trails, Brad, if you're going out, make sure you take a lot of pictures so we can actually show people what the trail looks like.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know
So
why we didn't take any on that one.
yeah. So especially when you're attempting to conquer anything that's going to kill you, we definitely want to be able to
Oh, I've
experience
got
that if
pictures
you
of
make it
my
back
first.
alive.
I've got pictures of my first one up at the Guadalupe Trail in the over by the Carlsbad Caverns, bro. We spent the night on a freaking cliff with nothing but a tarp. Well, we had a
Wait, the
tarp and
Carlsbad Caverns in
our
New
sleeping
Mexico?
bag. Yeah, there's the Guadalupe Trail is over there,
In New
just south.
Mexico?
No, it's in Texas, but it's over by New Mexico. Carlsbad Caverns is in New Mexico, but it's on the border of New Mexico and Texas.
Oh wow, dude. I don't think I'd drive that far just to hike. That's a bit of a journey, man.
That's what I do. We were uh
Like,
we were at the footsteps of the Appalachia last weekend.
I don't know. Now, if we're going to hunt, like we can do that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm
I
not gonna go. I'm not gonna go hunting without like a gator or something. A vehicle of some sorts.
no, I got you. I got you. No, I
If I'm hiking when I'm hunting, I don't want to hike more than 2-3 miles if I have to,
yeah,
because
you
that's a
don't want to
lot of
have to
meat.
pack out a lot of meat, like pack out
Exactly.
200 pounds of meat.
Right.
Yeah, no, I got you. So, but actually, so I guess probably next month I'm gonna be getting my new AR style rifle.
Yeah.
So I'll make sure to show it off when well I'll have it like right here on the wall. So
Showcase.
yeah, showcased during the show. Can't really see it, but over here above my big screen, I got my dad's samurai sword and I got my guitar down below.
Right
So
on.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Like I dig my man cave studio, man. It's perfect. So anyway, so I mean keeping the show pretty short this time around because we tended to get off on tangents and uh but so final predictions for what's gonna happen in the next 24 hours. Do you think the Democrats are gonna follow along behind Cackle Queen, or do you think they're gonna start pushing forward Gavin or Senator Kelly from Arizona, the former astronaut?
I think, actually, believe it or not, because you know how the Democrats are, after they just saw what happened at the RNC and all the unity that was happening there and all the people that they were losing to the
Mm-hmm.
RNC, I think they might try. I think they might try and unify around Kamala Harris simply because of the DEI factor.
Yeah,
She
she's
is
100%. She's a DEI dream.
exactly,
But
and they're not going to tell her. They're not going to tell her no, because then they will look like the party of misogynist, racist, uh,
but are they?
everything that they stand for would be something that they would be standing against, just in that one simple act of telling her no, you can't do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing that I find interesting about this whole situation is they are going to be still pushing a candidate that is not the one that was democratically elected in their primary. So it takes away, if it's not Harris, then it's going to take away their argument that Trump is the one against democracy when they toss democracy out the window to go with another candidate.
Well, how many of them? How many of them? Oh, I just had something. How many of them are? Well, I mean, geez, look. I'm starting to sound like Biden here. uh, crap! I had it right at the tip of my tongue, and
Oh, come on. You know the
oh,
words.
oh well, yeah, you know the thing. I can't think of it right now, so I'm just gonna.
Hold on. Throw in a true Bidenism. What am I doing here?
What am I doing? Oh,
So,
man.
I think, honestly, I think they're just stuck with Kamala. I do. I think they might try and beef the ticket.
Oh, how many?
Probably
How many of them are gonna try and get him to resign now, since he's saying that he's not fit to run?
he did not say that.
What did he say?
He just said that for the good of his party, he was going to step back from seeking re-election. He had intended to, but the way things are turning out, he thinks he'd better back off and give somebody else a shot because they'd have a better shot at beating Trump.
So how many do
Like,
you think? How many do you think are going to try and push for that? The 25th
I
Amendment.
don't think any, because the minute they do that, then they have to admit that they've been lying for 4 years about his competence.
Right. Well, he's already admitted that by stepping aside.
Well, no, because he just said that he's doing it because, like, the polling shows he can't win. Like,
Yeah,
he's
but
stepping aside because he can't
we
win
all know
re-election.
better than that.
Well, yeah,
The
we
polling shows
do.
that Kamala Harris can't win either.
We do,
And,
but
and
dummycrats and libtards don't know this.
so, but the polls show that the polls show that Gretchen Whitmer is the closest one to beating Trump out of all of them.
No, it shows that Michelle Obama is the only one that can beat Trump.
I've never seen that poll.
And then number 2 is Kamala, but she still loses to Trump. But then if you get somebody on the ticket like Whitmer or Kelly, they might be able to boost it. Kelly might be able to flip Arizona. But like if they're on there as the VP, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
Whitmer's going to have this big problem when she says when they try and make the argument that they're fighting for democracy, and Whitmer just signed a bill into law that makes it illegal to do recounts because of fraud.
Right.
They literally just passed that law. So and
so
then,
I guess
course,
if Trump wins Michigan, then she can't have a recount.
yeah, exactly. She can't blame that she can't make the excuse that she cheated. I just love, okay, so the election denial thing is like firmly pegged to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
But Al Gore refused to accept the results of the election, and it finally took the Supreme Court.
Every election that a Democrat has lost, they've said was stolen.
Absolutely, but that's where it all started. And then, like, the Democrats have pushed a false narrative about what happened that year, saying that the Supreme Court handed the state to Gore. What actually happened is it was within the 1% that requires an automatic recount, so they did the recount. and Bush won by a bigger margin. And so they wanted another recount, and Bush won by an even bigger margin. And then they wanted another recount, and Bush won by an even bigger margin.
And then he wanted a recount of just the state.
Yeah,
Just
and then,
the few counties in Florida.
exactly. And then it got to the point where it got all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court's like, you guys have already recounted this over and over and over. There's no constitutional reason to continue this. You guys have to name your nominee and appoint your delegates or your electors.
Right.
So, but he was the original election denier. And then
Hillary.
yeah, Hillary. Well, I mean, even before that, like they refused, they tried to refuse to certify. They had a bunch of objectors for both of George Bush's elections. They had the same thing when Hillary lost, and to this day, Hillary says that he was an illegitimate president, and that the Russians interfered with that election when everything there shows that no, they didn't.
You just didn't
She was the
expect
one
to lose
Dude,
by that much.
Did you just see the court found that she misappropriated millions of campaign funds?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
she's the one that's actually like been found guilty of campaign finance violations. And
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't know exactly what those funds were, but I'm pretty sure
should be
that
in-
like spending money to create false narratives about Trump and create false investigations and pay for fake dossiers is also an abuse of campaign funds.
Yep.
So
And it's
like,
proven. So, and aren't they charging Donald Trump with the same stuff?
yeah, that's literally what they tried to charge him.
Except
But
for the
it's like,
statute of except for they had to change the laws to make the statute of limitations fucking so that they could actually charge him with that crime.
yes, they
totally,
made a
it's
they
not
made
even
a new
not
they
even
made
really
a new
the same.
law. They made a new law that says that if you commit fraud on paperwork in order to benefit an election, a state election, then it's a felony. But this wasn't a state election; it was a
No,
national
that's
election.
Yeah. So
And so here's the thing about the falsification of records. An NDA is equivalent to you get sued and you have an out of court settlement. But this is a settlement to preclude any sort of legal actions, right? And the non-disclosure agreement goes with it. Well, do you know how you record payments for a settlement? As legal expenses.
yeah, because they
Okay.
are.
But the legal expenses paid were $130,000, but this guy was on retainer for a whole year and made $400,000.
And he made the payments himself out of his own account. So I don't understand how people still think that Donald Trump actually porked this freaking porn star.
Yeah, so the reality is they never proved that Donald Trump even knew the payment was made.
Yeah.
At all.
Uh-huh.
And then when it comes to those payments, they sent him a 1090. He was paid as being a legal consultant. He was on retainer, and he paid his taxes under the 1090. So even he agreed. There's the ego stretching out. So he agreed that he was a consultant until he was facing like 20 years for tax fraud, and not regarding this, but regarding other issues. And that's when, oh, hold on just a second. The dog is telling me he has to go out right now. Ugh. Sorry about that, guys.
Boy.
Yeah, he's a good dog. So yeah, so they were threatening to lock him up forever if he wouldn't roll on Trump. And of course, everybody knows this guy's a snake. Donald Trump knew he's a snake. That's why he didn't give him a role in his government.
So he's all fired.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so they call Cohen his fixer. But all he was doing was handling these allegations because Trump was a little busy, running for president. Now the actual documentation of the checks and all of that, it all happened after the election. The filing of the financials would have been after the election. So the argument that he made those filings in order to influence an election, every single one of them happened after the election. So you can't go back in time and say he did it to interfere with an election. So you get what I'm saying? So like doing according to their statute,
Mhm.
making those, even if they were erroneous errors, even intentionally so, they would have had to have been done before the election to have been done with the purpose of changing the election. Does that make sense?
Right. Yep.
And it never happened. So as far as like NDAs to shut people up for political reasons, I don't see Bill Clinton in jail for it. He paid out like 400,000 to what was it, Paula Jones?
Yeah.
So, and the reality is almost every corporation in the country has people under NDAs. We have no idea why they're under NDAs. They're not going to tell us. So, like, it's total joke.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it's like, I mean, it's just funny that like, I love that the documents case was tossed, and like everybody says, oh, that was Eileen Cannon being like a political hack and blah blah blah, saying that she can't be impartial because she was appointed by Trump, and yet they're saying the Democrat that tried Trump was partial.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Even though he clearly wasn't.
Yeah, and the
It's
prosecutor was,
hierarchy.
yeah, and the prosecutor's impartial, even though the number 3 guy in the DOJ went to go work in that office
Yeah.
as an assistant to spearhead the investigation into Trump to create charges.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, like it's just crazy. So, anyways, but the case being tossed out, like everybody's saying, well, you know, he was legally appointed. Okay, no, he wasn't, because he was never confirmed by the Senate for anything. Every other special counsel before that was either directly created under a special counsel authorization, which had expired when Jack Smith was appointed, or they were already approved by the Senate to be U.S. attorneys. So every other special counsel that's ever existed was already approved by the Congress. So that case is gone, which means the January 6th case is gone too, because Jack Smith is handling that too.
Somebody said January 6th.
Okay. All right, Joe, but tell us how you really feel.
Right. I can't feel anything. Oh, these drugs that got me on.
Yeah. All I got is 34 counts. Even Capone couldn't do it. I did it bigger than anyone. I got more convictions than anyone. I've got more indictments than anyone.
The best
Yeah.
indictments. That's what people tell me. I would never
There-
say that, but people tell me I have the best indictments. It's like my tan. Their
The
indictments do nothing to me. A bullet can stop me.
the
I'm
the
getting
le-
my ear molded into gold and put on a chain. The best chain.
Oh, dude, I'm like totally waiting to see the merch. Oh, but dude, let me pull this up.
Dude, I
Let me see if I
seriously
can
want
get
him
this
to
pull
make.
up.
I want him to make a mold of that ear, dude, and
Okay,
make it a gold ear with a chunk missing out of it for a necklace.
I'm gonna see if I
Give it
can
to
pull
50
it.
Cent.
I'm gonna see if I can get this pull up. Yesterday I couldn't get it to pull up. So let's see if I can get this to pull up. It's like the baddest. The baddest.
Hold on. Let me get my shoes. The best shoes, leather soles. Ah, they're expensive, those shoes.
So standing, okay. I'm seeing if I can pull up. There we go. So I'm gonna share this. Let's see. So this is in our merch shop. People can check this out. Let me see if I can figure out. I know I can do it. I figured it out. Add a scene. Media. Screen. All right, here we go. So here we go. Check this out. There it is.
Nice.
So that is currently in our shop. And so you go back, and then we have the still standing jersey too. Let's see if I can get it to open.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why every time I try and pull this up when I'm like here
How
on the
much are
stream,
those?
I can't get it to pull up. So the still standing shirt, I mean, it depends on your size. The still standing shirt starts at $15.13, but the jersey, it's a bit more expensive, higher end materials, and it's wraparound print. Well, I mean, you can go check it out on the site. Because we're streaming, it kind of takes up a lot of the bandwidth, so kind of tough to get it to pull up. But the still standing jersey, it's an all over print, and it's kind of the same thing, but it's on the front and on the back. So, oh, there it is.
Nice.
So, trying to get it to change the view here because I do have, yeah, see. So, can you see it?
Yeah.
Nice, nice. So,
I saw
yeah,
the
that's,
price too.
huh?
I said I saw the price too.
Yeah. So that's the jersey. So, yeah, I think that's the coolest thing in my shop right now.
That is
So,
cool.
but I am going to be adding more. You remember all the T-shirt designs that I had before, but we were never got around to launching the merch shop. Well, now that
Mhm.
I'm like more full on, like retired and relaxing, we're gonna have it. But you guys can see the ticker. Well, you were able to see the ticker, but looks like it went away for the moment. Where did it go? Oh, there we go. There we go. So we'll show this bad boy right here. Get your gear, www.warmongershop.store, and you can get that awesome jersey that I just showed you. You can get the t-shirt, and you can also get the stuff that I designed for my gaming channels. So go check it out. It'll help us be able to upgrade what we're doing here. I've already, like, since we stopped doing it last year, I've made a lot of upgrades. I got my whole studio going on. I got my computer for it. So really set up, but we're going to keep stepping it up as we go along. So, I mean, I know on Rumble, you can always send a Rumble anytime, but
I got pictures and video of a trail for tomorrow's stream.
nice.
So
Yeah, you'll have to just set up a Dropbox and send it over. So,
yeah,
anyways, so we're hitting the hour point. I can't wait to see what the Democrats are doing. Obviously, the news cycles are crazy. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, Brad can make it, but he's a working stiff. He's not quite as retired as I am yet. So if he doesn't make it, I'll still be here every day, 7 days a week, unless I'm on vacation or out on a hiking trail with Brad and the boys. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Any closing thoughts, Brad?
no sir.
All
I'm
right.
gonna try and get more hiking stuff and tell some stories about my hiking trips. Maybe get you guys to laugh and be like, "What the hell is this guy doing?" And I'll call it "Tales of the Idiot Hiker."
Yeah, we'll do something like something like this when you're doing your Tales of the Idiot Hiker. We'll go uh let's see. This will be funny.
Hey, Dad. Where's Mom?
I don't know. I asked her, but she hasn't sent anything.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Okay,
You're live on Rumble right now.
okay.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. It's always only where Mom is.
Well, welcome to the show.
She just wants a cupcake.
Gotcha. Well, so we'll have this one going for you during that segment. Can you see it?
Which one going for me?
Look at the icon right underneath you. Says Tales of the Idiot Hiker, how Brad almost died.
There we go. For
So
sure.
perfect. So
Classic.
yeah, so on the next show, that's going to be our segment. We're going to hear more tales of the idiot hiker and how Brad keeps almost killing himself.
Yep. Every time there's something interesting.
All right.
The
Well,
best
y'all,
tale.
yeah, y'all have a great night. I'm a libertarian, but this time I am saying vote Trump. So go Trump. Make sure you go check out the warmongershop.store. That website's down at the bottom. You can get the cool jersey and the cool T-shirt. And we look forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow. Make sure to comment. Make sure to share this. Make sure to follow the page, no matter where you're following it. Especially make sure if you're following on any of the other channels other than Rumble, make sure that you follow us on Rumble or on X, because they don't have any censorship. So when we're on there, sometimes we're going to be cutting off the YouTube feed and the live
And
feed.
they're a growing platform, and we want to use them.
Yep. And hey, they want to use us too. I mean, we're already getting paid
Yep.
off of it, so we're doing something right. So y'all have a great night. Thanks so much for joining us. And this is going to be us signing off.